Hola Spanish learners, and welcome to another episode of Spanish Academy TV, where we take your Spanish to the next level. Today we have a very hot topic among parents and educators: unschooling. If you want to know more about unschooling and how unschooling families learn Spanish, keep watching. I'll explain the philosophy and give you 8 easily applicable tips to use with your kids. Of course, each family is different and has unique needs, but it might be helpful to discover the basics and see if unschooling could work for you. But before we jump into explaining what unschooling is, don't forget, like this video, subscribe, and click that notification bell. Yes, it's that easy. Like, subscribe, bell button. This way you won't miss the best Spanish content on the web. Now, to get started with our unschooling tips, we've got to go over some basic terms to make sure we are on the same page. If you're fairly new to the topic of unschooling, you may be wondering what's the difference between certain terms that kind of sound the same. Homeschooling, unschooling, unlearning, deschooling. While all of these terms are definitely related, they each mean something totally different. Let's have a look at them one by one. Homeschooling versus unschooling. Homeschooling is a more traditional term where students often follow a conventional national curriculum at home instead of at school. Parents may help them, but older children are likely to be more independent. Children usually take state exams when needed. Unschooling, on the other hand, is a more radical approach. Its focus is on learning through living, rather than following conventions of traditional institutions. Parents are the key partners, and kids choose what they want to learn according to their interests. If you're interested in including Spanish in your homeschooling schedule, check out this article: How to Build Spanish into Your Homeschooling Schedule. Unlearning versus deschooling. Deschooling is a process. It's the transition time after the kids and the parents leave the school system. It's a gradual procedure when everybody involved must break free from the traditional school routine and discover intrinsic motivation, self-determination, and self-discipline. Unlearning might be part of deschooling. It's simply realizing and accepting that something we learned before is incorrect or obsolete. It's all about getting aware of the situation and accepting the possibilities of new ways. Now that we've defined various terms that might otherwise be confusing, we can jump directly into our 8 tips on how unschooling families learn Spanish. 1. Open your mind to a new way of learning. We are all so used to the traditional education that it's hard to imagine a different approach. Changes are never easy. First, you'll need to understand that unschooling is what you and your kids need, and the rest will follow. 2. Immersion is key. It's all about immersion. The moment you start increasing your exposure to the language you're learning, your skills and vocabulary grow exponentially. You start learning without studying, and the change is noticeable. Surround your kids with Spanish. Listen to Spanish songs. Change their devices' settings to Spanish. Get Spanish books and comics, and soon you'll notice the effects. 3. Give your children bite-sized, immersive experiences. Of course, you must remember that you are the adult who helps in the unschooling process, and all kids are different and learn at their own pace. If you notice that your child seems a bit overwhelmed with too much immersion, that frustration is the predominant feeling. Then you may want to switch to providing smaller, manageable moments of immersion. You can do this by dedicating only some days of the week to Spanish, as opposed to every day, or limit the amount of weekly Spanish activities they're exposed to. Mark your immersion experiences clearly on a weekly schedule and stick to it. And most of all, don't despair. As your child's Spanish level improves, they'll get closer to being able to fully immerse themselves in the language. We're left with only 4 more tips. But first, let me ask you, did you know that you can get a free class with a certified native Spanish-speaking teacher? Yes, completely free, no credit card required. Go to www.spanish.academy/free-class or click here. It's difficult for some people to believe, but here at Homeschool Spanish Academy, we love free stuff and we love Spanish. So we're going to give you both through the click of a button. And now, back to our tips. 4. Create a pleasant and engaging bilingual environment. Immersion starts at home. It may not be easy as it requires the whole family to engage, but it's really worth trying. Label everything you can find in Spanish, such as the fridge, the desk, the walls, the dishwasher, and more. Ask your kids to always use these words, even if they have to put them into English sentences. You can also put posters and motivational messages all around to create an engaging Spanish environment. If you need some inspiration, check this article. 20 inspirational quotes in Spanish for your classroom. 5. Listen to and watch Spanish. Have you ever tried switching your kids' device settings to Spanish? Not only does this little trick improve exposure, but so does listening to and watching Spanish as often as possible. Listening to Spanish podcasts, audiobooks, or watching your favorite TV shows in Spanish is a wonderful way of acquiring new vocabulary and grammar skills. Click here for Spanish podcasts to listen to on your way to work. And here for educational TV shows in Spanish for kids. 6. Keep a language journal. Encouraging your children to keep a language journal is also a great idea. Inspire them to write down any new Spanish words they hear, while they also write out familiar vocabulary with which they can start creating full sentences. Of course, the writing goal depends entirely on your child's language level. If you opt for a pocket-sized notebook, they can carry it around and jot down any Spanish-related content they want at any time. 7. Start unschooling Spanish with your child's favorite interests. This is so important if you're a parent to a teenager. Younger kids learn eagerly if a topic interests them, but teenagers will simply block themselves if they don't feel interested in what they need to study. Look for resources related to your kids' hobbies and interests, and you'll see how their vocabulary will grow in no time. This is the part I like the most about the internet. You can find everything there that will make your unschooling experience tempting and enjoyable. 8. Learn Spanish as a family. Last but not least, do it as a family. I know that you might be busy, but you always find some time to listen to a podcast while driving or watch a YouTube Spanish channel like Spanish Academy TV, or even read a bedtime story in Spanish. Don't worry if your Spanish is far from the native level. You don't have to be an expert to be a perfect guide for your kids. And I can assure you, you'll pick up some Spanish for yourself sooner than you think. I'm certain you're excited to try out these 8 tips on how to introduce Spanish into your unschooling routine with your own kids. While it may be a little challenging to successfully incorporate Spanish into your daily life, you're better equipped to do so with our tips and your self-determination. Together, we can inspire your children to enjoy the Spanish learning adventure of their unschooling experience. By using the tips from today's video, you'll make the unschooling process faster and easier. Don't stress. Enjoy what you have on your plate each day and use it to your advantage. You can also download our free ebook called Weird and Wacky Spanish Stories for Beginners to help your kids learn Spanish while unschooling. The ebook is totally free and fun to read. Check the link in the description below to download your own copy. And last but not least, don't forget to sign up for your free class with one of our certified native Spanish-speaking teachers. Just go to www.spanish.academy/free-class. That's all for today. I hope you liked it, and I can't wait to see you soon. Hasta luego! I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like and be sure to subscribe to our channel for all Spanish learning updates. Hasta pronto!